Hi everyone, today we are going to do these remaining two little critters. We have a snail and we have a beetle, I think. So we're going to do them in our sort of Halloween-y, colour-y style, which I think is fun. Now the beetle, I think I'm going to do him in a sort of red colour. I think that'll be good. I saw a beetle just the other day in my poor son's lunchbox, which was a red, quite a striking red colour. So I think I'm going to use that as my inspiration, shall we say. So I've grabbed this Indian red. This is from the Polychromos, and I'm going to start off doing that on his body. So I'm going to go quite dark around the edge. I want him to have a little bit of a shine on his back, because this beetle I saw was very shiny. My poor son, he opened his lunchbox. He was eating outside. He ate his roll and his cheese that I gave him, and then he went in to grab some salad, and there was this beetle which was the colour of a red grape crawling around in his salad. He said, "Sorry mum, I couldn't eat it." And I said, "I don't blame you. I wouldn't have been able to eat it either." So I'm trying to pick my next colour while I'm chattering on. Yeah, not sure. I think we'll go for, what's that? Yes, I need a sharpener. We'll go for the Venetian Red. Grab a sharpener. So yeah, poor boy, he couldn't eat it. I was like, that's okay. At least he had his roll, and so he did have something to eat, but I just chucked it away. But I'm hoping that it wasn't me that put it in there, that it came from, I just want the lightest bit in the middle, so it looks like he's got quite a shiny back. Has that worked? I think so. And the same with the head, so we can just bring the colour in a bit, leave a little shiny area. Now I want to do the legs and the antennae, maybe in black, just for fun, because we're scary, we're Halloween, you know. I think if he's got what looks like black horns, obviously they're not horns, I think that's quite fun. And the legs, I'm going to fade the black a little bit, so it's darker at each end, a little bit lighter in the middle of the leg, but I think he'll stand out a bit then. Some black. There we go. Now the background I was going to do in a greeny colour. I think that'll be quite fun. I'm sort of thinking slimy, ectoplasm, ghosty background, and it'll set off, I think, these colours that we've used. So I'm trying to look at the greens. We've been using phthalo greens. Yeah, I think that'll work. Just having a little, just grabbing some and thinking about what to do, give them a sharpen. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with the lightest green around the beetle and a darker one on the edge. So I've got this one first. This one here, which is the dark phthalo green. I'm going to start with that on the sort of corners. It's similar to what I did with the spider there. So a bit darker here, and then fading it in. So lots of layers here and across this corner, and then down here. And then like that, and then just sort of fade it in a little bit. And I think with this one we won't graduate to a much lighter green. We'll go straight to a mid green. We'll go straight to this light one, and I hope this might give a sort of nice effect. So this is the light phthalo green, and I'm just going to go right in with this one here, and hopefully it'll fade in a little bit, but it will sort of frame it as well, which is the idea, to make it look a bit maybe like it's glowing, or like the background is glowing around it, sort of thing, to make it stand out. fun. I haven't thought about the snail, what I'm going to do with that yet. But we'll have a go in a minute. So I'm pressing really hard with this colour. I'm just really going for it. Hang on. I've got a few bits because I've been pressing so hard. I'll just give them a brush. Get them out of sight. I know how tempting it is when you're watching on a tablet and there's a little bit in view, you want to brush it away. You sort of think it's on your tablet rather than on the recording, as it were. So try and keep those bits away for you. So all the way round. Again, I'm just going over and over to try and make it really stand out and be lots of fun. There we go. There's our beetle. And now we have our snail. Now, he's quite an interesting shape, isn't he? I'm trying to think of background first because that will sort of determine what I'm going to do. I feel like I need some purple in this picture because we've got purple in most of the pictures apart from our ice monster who is blue. We've got a lot of purple going on other pages. I could do a purple background. I think I'm going to do him first. So I'm going to do his body in the browny greys, which the warm greys that we have in Polychromos. They aren't as brown as some greys in some sets, but I think it will work. So I'm going to go for the warm grey 5 to start with, and start doing this little bit here. So I'm going to do this one underneath where it would be darker and then fade it up a little bit. And we'll do a slightly lighter colour. We'll go to the, we'll go to the warm grey 4 for the rest of the body. If you don't have all these colours, just use any warm grey or mix a bit of brown in with the grey if you want it a bit more brown. It isn't really that brown a grey. So anyway, now the shell. We could do the shell purple and that would be different. Yeah, let's do that. That'd be really different. Okay, right, let's have a look at my purples. I think I'm going to go all over with my lightest purple first. So I've grabbed this one, which is this one, 138, which is the violet. And I'm going to go all over the shell in a gentle layer of the violet first, so I can sort of have a think and work out what I'm doing. I'm going to make it darker in places and lighter in places with a different shade of purple. I'm just having a look really and putting a layer down. Now we have got, we're going to have a bit of shadow here where it curves and here. So we've got quite a few areas where we're going to need a darker colour. I'm going to grab the blue violet and firstly mark out here. Just here we're going to have a little bit of a shadow line, and I think on each of these. So I'm just putting a little bit on here where it's sort of standing out from the main part of the shell. I think there'll be a little bit of shadow. So I'm just popping that in. Now thinking about this curve, I think there's going to be a shadow under the curve. So I'm putting a bit here and then under here. It can be quite tricky as it goes round to quite work out where to put it. And a bit on the top here. Whoops. A bit more than I had wanted. Now I'm going to blend it in a little bit and hopefully we'll start to see a little bit of shape. And I'm going to go back to my violet. There we go, and finish off shaping, doing some bits on the other part of the curve where we didn't fill in before. And just what I want to do is try and take it so that it looks like each bit is slightly curved in that it's a bit rounded like this brush. Okay, or like the pencil. So you need a little bit darker each edge and then lighter in the middle, and it can give the impression that it's sort of curved. We'll see if it works. It's not always that easy. I think we've got some texture in there. And then on each of these, I'm just going to fill in, extend that shadow line a little bit towards the outside. I still want it to be light on the tip. Just extend a little bit. There we go. That looks a bit pale compared to the rest. But I am happy with how that is working out. But now we need to think about background. Now, we've used up all our Halloween-y colours, but we do have blue in this picture up here. So I'm thinking if we use blue, it would tie it together a little bit. We haven't done his eyes, so I'm just going to do those in a black. There we go. And now I'm thinking about that background. So as I said, blue I think is the key. I think if we do a little bit like we did for the this one, with a light and a dark like this, I think it may work. So this is a light cobalt turquoise, and this is a helio turquoise, so it's quite a bit darker. And I think I'm trying to work out whether to do the dark. I'm going to do the dark around the edge and the lighter on the outside for this one, a bit like I did for this one. So dark around here. Now this is a nice sharp little pencil. I don't know if it's got another sharpening in it. It's quite small, isn't it? Look. I know some of you really like my Ickle pencils. You can see how much I enjoy using them. But I don't believe in not using a pencil. I like to use all my colouring things. That's what they're for, and I enjoy them. So I use them, and if they might, some are expensive. If I use up the expensive ones, then I move back to the cheaper ones. So I like Cobalt Turquoise. I'm going to do, and I'm going to see whether it works or whether we need to sort of blend it better. But we'll see how it works. I'm just going to do a sort of medium pressure all the way around, slightly overlapping. And I will just have a look and see whether I think it needs blending better once I'm done. The joy with the polys is you can layer them up, so let's have a look. Yeah, I think we need to blend a little. So here, for example, it's a bit messy, and out a bit here. I'm just doing a little bit more where it overlaps here and there. Whoops, I'm making it a little bit darker around the edge of our little snail friend, and then I'm going to go back in with the lighter colour and really push down now, burnish it on there, get a nice solid layer of colour. Just hopefully it will all work together. He might not be the most Halloween-y looking critter, but I think he's fun. Right, there we go. I think we're done. That was quite a short one today, but we've got this little bunch done. I think they look quite fun together. And next time we will move on to maybe the bat. We'll see. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, and happy colouring.